The Miami Dolphins may have luck on their side this week, not because of anything they've done wrong, but because the New England Patriots are facing a huge setback. Their top defensive star, and easily one of the best young corners in the entire NFL, Christian Gonzalez, is likely out for the Dolphins' Patriots Week 2 matchup. This isn't brand new news. Gonzalez has been battling a lingering hamstring injury since late July. He hasn't practiced all week, and reports suggest that his recovery is taking far longer than expected. Typically, most players return from this type of injury within 1 to 3 weeks. Gonzalez, however, has already missed nearly 6 weeks, which is raising serious questions about what's going on in New England. For Miami, this is huge. Gonzalez was a true difference-maker last season, allowing just a 55% completion rate and only 2 touchdowns against him all year. Without him, the Patriots' secondary looks a lot more vulnerable, and that's something the Dolphins' high-powered offense will be eager to exploit. Lightbulb before we continue with the latest Dolphins updates. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and don't forget to press the bell icon, so you never miss breaking Miami Dolphins news. Now let's move on. Christian Gonzalez isn't just a good corner, he's elite. Last season, opposing quarterbacks managed only a 70.5 passer rating when throwing his way, making him one of the toughest defenders in the league. Without him, New England's defense looks completely different. And here's where things really tilt in Miami's favor. The Patriots' secondary, which was supposed to be their strength, already struggled badly in Week 1. They allowed 9 completions of 20 yards or more, the most in the NFL that week. That's against a Raiders passing attack that isn't exactly stacked with elite receivers. If they had that much trouble then, imagine what happens when they face Tua Tagovailoa, Tyreek Hill, Jaylen Waddle, and the rest of Miami's high-powered offense. Yes, the Dolphins' offensive line has some concerns with injuries and backups filling in, but this is exactly where Miami's quick passing game becomes deadly. Tua's timing, combined with the speed of Tyreek and Waddle, is built to shred secondaries that can't keep up. Without Gonzalez on the field, the Patriots' defense suddenly looks like it has a giant target painted on it, and the Dolphins have the perfect weapons to take full advantage. The Dolphins simply cannot waste this opportunity. When a secondary loses its best player, you have to attack it. No excuses. Let's look at the numbers. New England's pass defense ranked near the bottom of the league in multiple categories last week. 25th in EPA per pass, 30th in yards after catch allowed, 30th in passing yards per play. That's against the Raiders, a team without an elite receiving core. If the Patriots struggled that badly against them, it paints a clear picture of what Miami can do with Tua, Tyreek, and Waddle on the field. The key, though, is protection. If the offensive line can just hold for 2.5 seconds, the league average, that's all Tua needs to slice through this defense. Quick passes already put New England in the bottom half of the league, and when opposing quarterbacks had time to throw deep, the Patriots dropped to almost dead last in every major passing metric. This is where Tua must stay poised. No happy feet, no panicking in the pocket. Trust the protection, trust the timing, and let Miami's speed do the rest. Because against this version of the Patriots secondary, the Dolphins don't just have an advantage, they have a chance to completely dominate. Too often last week, Tua looked unsettled. At times he rushed through his progressions, locking onto his first read for a quick 3-yard gain. Other times, he came off that first read, panicked, and threw inaccurately. That can't happen again. What Miami needs is a confident Tua, one who trusts the pocket, slides his feet to create throwing lanes, and keeps his eyes downfield. Because when he does, the results are devastating. With Jaylen Waddle and Tyreek Hill stretching defenses vertically, there will always be opportunities in the intermediate and deep parts of the field. Those chances don't require perfection, just composure. If Tua remains calm and delivers on time, this Patriots secondary, already weakened and struggling, will not be able to keep up. The weapons are there, the matchups favor Miami, and the stage is set. It all comes down to execution. The Patriots are dealing with more than just the loss of Christian Gonzalez. Their pass rush addition Harold Landry, who recorded 2.5 sacks in Week 1, is battling a foot injury and remains questionable. Starting right tackle Morgan Moses is also on the injury list with the same issue. Both players returned to practice in limited fashion and could suit up, but they may not be at full strength. For Miami, the bigger focus is on their own health. The Dolphins have already had to shuffle the offensive line, and every snap of protection is critical when facing a Bill Belichick defense. Any lingering issues with depth at tight end or along the line only magnify the importance of execution and discipline on Sunday. The bottom line? While New England deals with its own injury concerns, Miami must avoid letting its vulnerabilities get in the way. This game is a chance to send a clear message. The Dolphins are contenders, and they can win even when not at 100%. There is at least some encouraging news on the injury front for Miami. Rookie running back Jaylen Waddle was back at practice on Thursday, upgraded from a did not participate to a limited participant. While he's unlikely to suit up this week against the Patriots, this signals real progress toward being ready for Week 3 against Buffalo, or, at the very latest, Week 4 against the Jets. The Dolphins chose not to place him on injured reserve, which strongly suggests they expect him back sooner rather than later. As for other updates, offensive lineman Austin Jackson missed practice with a toe injury and is not expected to play. Defensive tackle Benito Jones sat out as well with an oblique issue, making him doubtful for Sunday. Losing both impacts depth on the line of scrimmage, meaning Miami will need its rotation players to step up and maintain pressure in the trenches. Overall, while Wright's progress is encouraging for the near future, the immediate challenge will be navigating these lineup changes and keeping the offense steady behind a patchwork line. With Austin Jackson sidelined, Larry Borom is expected to step in at right tackle, a role he already handled throughout the preseason. On the defensive line, Miami will rotate a mix of rookies, Zeke Biggers, Jordan Phillips, and Kenneth Grant, to help fill the gap left by Benito Jones. At nose tackle, Zach Sealer remains a steady anchor. These adjustments will test Miami's depth, but they also highlight one of the Dolphins' strengths, resilience. Even when key starters are missing, the next man up mentality has been central to this team's identity. As the Dolphins head into their Week 2 clash with the Patriots, the formula is clear: protect Tua, exploit a weakened New England secondary, and let Miami's speed dictate the game. If the Dolphins execute, this matchup could set the tone for a statement season.